Mistakes are to be celebrated, not criticized. So often as parents, when our kids make mistakes, we criticize them. Sometimes we criticize them like harshly. Sometimes it's just with a look or even just a tensing of our muscles, a frustration. But if we can shift how we relate to mistakes with our kids, it can make all the difference. Because, mistakes are a natural part of learning. Actually, learning is that, right? Learning is you make a mistake, you analyze it, you shift something, you change something, you try again, you make more mistakes, new mistakes, or even the same mistake over again. And you keep adjusting and you keep trying and you keep learning and you keep growing. It's a beautiful process. But if we criticize mistakes, if we make our kids feel bad for making mistakes, even big mistakes, if we make them feel bad for it, number one, they can't come to us with their mistakes. They'll have to hide them. It doesn't mean they're learning from it. They're hiding it, right? And secondly, they don't actually learn the skill. They don't actually learn the skill of how to learn from mistakes. It's actually a skill that we can help our kids develop, right? And this is a beautiful thing. I remember I once had we were taking care of an 8-year-old friend of mine. And this kid spilled some juice on the kitchen floor and immediately got a little scared, right? And like, oh no, I spilled juice, oh no. And ran to get a paper towel and started cleaning up. It was a little bit panicky. And I was like, hey kiddo, what's going on? And she goes, well, I got to clean up the juice. I said, no, you don't. It's okay. We could do it together. And so she goes, no, I got to clean it up. And then, like a few minutes, I immediately went and got some paper towel and we cleaned it up together and we made some jokes and we were laughing together and stuff and kind of lightened the mood. And then later on, I was like, mistakes are a natural thing, kiddo. Like I drop stuff all the time. It's absolutely nothing you have to worry about. And I said, do you know what mistakes are for? And this kid goes, to learn from. I'll never forget that moment. She knew the words, but it wasn't like, oh, to learn from. It wasn't like joyous. Oh, learning. Yeah, learning is an awesome thing. Mistakes are an awesome thing because I can learn from them. It wasn't that. It was to learn from. And then I said, hey, do you know how to learn from mistakes? And they were like, well, actually, no. I said, well, let's talk about it. And we ended up talking about it and having a wonderful reframing of mistakes. Now, of course, if you can have that reframing with your kid on a consistent basis, it completely changes their relationship to mistakes. It doesn't mean they ignore them. It actually means they embrace them more. They learn from them more. Because otherwise, people are afraid of mistakes. And when you're afraid of mistakes, you're afraid of progress. You're afraid of growth. And then you can't take as many risks. But when we can embrace mistakes, it opens up a whole field of life to us. And it's so amazing. And I really want us to celebrate when our kids make mistakes, so that they feel like it's a natural part of life. And that they can come to us with a big mistake, the biggest mistake. And as soon as they make that mistake, they think, oh, my kid, when she makes a mistake, she's like, oh, I got to tell my dad. He's going to love this mistake and we can learn from it together. I got to tell my mom because she's going to love this mistake and we'll learn from it together. That's how she thinks. She never thinks, oh, I have to hide this mistake from my parents. Now, maybe she wants to hide things. She doesn't have to tell us everything. But in her heart, her feeling is that she can come to us with anything. And she knows, I always say my learning mindset is stable. And she knows that if she comes to me with a mistake, I'm going to celebrate her, I'm going to celebrate the mistake, and then we can learn from it together. And this is like one of the greatest gifts we can give our kids. Talk about preparing kids for the real world, right? Criticizing and consequences, that doesn't prepare them for the real world. Doesn't matter how much you say it, it doesn't. It doesn't teach them any skills. But this is a powerful mindset and a powerful skill that we can give them. And it's part of guiding without controlling, right? And so I would love for you to check out my free course called Guiding Without Controlling, which is at meaningfulideas.com. And also follow me in all the spaces at Meaningful Ideas, because I put out a video every day and I have hundreds of articles that I've written and hundreds of videos. And there's just so much information I put out there. And I'd love for you to take part in it. And that's it, everybody. Thank you very much.